Hey, Vox here. So I've got a lot of questions around my cap, the creative player, right? So you see on your screen right here is the name of Susan. So that's the picture. The attributes are above. So we're going to look at that right now. I don't think it's complete. I can get its control up a little bit, which I'll show you how I've been working on that and how to kind of effectively grind your cap. The things that I've learned from it. This year's a little different than last year. I got it at 120 hits per 9, which is pretty good. 125 is maxed. 104 Ks per 9. Hit per 9 is more important than K per 9. And velocity 99, break 96, control, and you see that stamina. Now, he is a reliever. As you see, he's a closing pitcher on your screen, or she, sorry. But his stamina's at 74, and I think that's really nice because I've been able to pitch Susan Gutfoxx in basically every single high leverage situation that I've needed her to go multiple innings. She's done it, and she's shut down opponents. They've looked foolish swinging against her, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, pitcher caps, like they're cheesy. You shouldn't use them." Yeah, pitchers caps just shouldn't be in the game, right? So I'm doing my part to make this game as toxic as possible, and I'll show you some of Gutfoxx's pitches here on the field against the CPU, and like you can decide for yourself if this is something you want to pursue. So I think like caps themselves, they used to be like all DD was. If you look back way when it started, 8 years ago or something, it was all creative players. Now I think with like if they can just invest in more legends, with all those players that they're paying to be in this game, focusing around caps are in balance, right? You see hitting caps. You can watch other videos on the internet about hitting caps and everything. They have like 120 across the board on power and everything, but so far this cap. All right, so I got a cutter, and I'll talk about my release point in a second here. This is the one that I'm currently in. So I got a 97 mile per hour cutter, as you see. The sinker rate here, which I don't know if I like this release the best because the sinker's only okay. 95 on the sinker with that kind of movement. The screwball, I feel like the reason why I like this setup is kind of it's a weird motion that I'm using, and the screwball is like it's like basically a Fernando Valenzuela screw in circle Vulcan change right here. So I think like this is basically my out pitch is that Vulcan change. It is so hard to go from upper 90s to Vulcan change level, and then the slurve right here. Now I was using Rasul Iglesias's motion. I decided to switch over to this one because it looked even glitchier, at least on the screen. And I'll show it to you for a second. I'm missing bad right now, but that's on me. Anyways, those are the pitches. At least the breaks that you see on your screen. I'll say yeah, the screwball and whatnot are very, very sharp. Screwball, Vulcan change, and then the cutter, slurve. The only issue is like you could definitely feel the lack of control on the pitcher. All right, let's go and talk about how to get it done. Now, I think those pitches are the best ones to use in the game. You can use a regular changeup, a circle change, but I definitely think sink, cutter, some sort of changeup, the slurve, and the screwball are the best combinations of pitches. Now, obviously, you can change whatever you want on your pitcher, your animation. Sorry, I'll go to his like here's his loadout. I have the it says closing pitch, and I'll talk about how that's kind of glitched over in a second. This is like the big train's the starting pitcher one, which is why I have so much stamina. I got the plus 30 stamina as you see right there. I got K per 9 break, hits per 9 velocity. Then I have control 1 break to get that up. I could go with another control there too. Break 2 and then velocity to get that up to 99 along with hits per 9 up to 98. So there is that. The equipment I'm using, I'm using some diamond equipment, but you can just go ahead and get the best diamond equipment you want. It's pretty easy to see which ones are the best. As for the appearance and the motions, the animation I'm using right now is generic one at 73. Somebody said it was like generic one at 74 for them, so I don't know if that changes. I really do like the Iglesias one too because it's kind of hard to pick up, I feel like. So it's between one of those two. I think there's so many good ones. You can use Rogers's, who's like an underhander too with people like this. So like this Iglesias has got a really nasty, I feel like cutter and slurve, but I feel like the screwball is better out of the one I was using. Generic windup 73, and generic windup 73 looks a little glitchier. I don't know. You guys can choose that on your own, but that's just what I'm running for now. I think any sidewinder or underarm animation is the best one because they're so hard to pick up versus what we're used to in going through them. All right, road to the show. All right, how do you improve it? This is more of like for beginners. This part right here, then we'll get into how to like advance, how to get a closer as a starter in road to the show. Something I asked people and they kind of discovered it for me. All right, so right here, this is how we're going to get a lot of our control up. It's just basically just this training is so important. So we're just gonna do this between game training. Now, unlike last year, you were able to just sim. This year, in order to get those training sessions, you actually had to hit play game and select your loadout. So you have to get into the game for the training sessions. Then to get your ball player from like bronze to silver to gold levels, you actually have to play the game. You actually have to get the strikeout. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. But once you get to diamond levels, all you have to do is sim the next appearance, okay? And just finish the game. But you do have to go and you do have to finish the game. You have to actually go into the game, then go out in order to get those bullpen sessions, okay? All right, so here we go. Return to clubhouse. He's not going to get many increases here. They really only ever increase their number one pitch here. For some reason, only sinker is going to get extra control or break or whatever it is. But that's basically maxed out on the other things besides for sinker controls at 49. So that is there, okay? But otherwise, yeah, for your ball player in order to get him up levels. So how do you get a reliever as a starter and road to the show is the big question, right? Right here, you can see these programs and everything. X for item program. You can see how to advance. Once I got a diamond level, I can make some stubs and stuff by getting these perks and whatnot and selling them on the block. I've just been a little lazy on that. I just didn't feel like grinding road to the show anymore on this character. But how you get a reliever is basically, so create a character, create a cap. I'll back all the way out. Create a cap. So I have 2 caps created, okay? Manage, create or change ball player. I have Susan Gutfoxx as a starting pitcher. I got Susan Gutfoxx as a closer. Start your road to the show as your starter, okay? Go through the whole kit and caboodle, play 1 game as your starter, and then back out to the main menu, load in with your closer, and then the game will treat you like a starter, and then you can basically put up innings and then level your reliever as a starter, and then you can use a reliever in Diamond Dynasty that way. Hopefully that made sense, right? So if not, rewind that back. I explained it about as good as I could have, okay? So there you go. That's how you do it. That's like the whole trick to road to the show and how you get your reliever as a starter to get that extra stamina. Now, if you do want to use a reliever as a reliever, you can go ahead and just grind it that way too. I'm not sure which one's better. I haven't grinded the reliever as a reliever. Somebody else can tell me what they like and what they use more. Let's add a little bit more control to our Vulcan. I actually don't know what my reliever outside of the cap attributes are. For the card. All right, back up. I'd have to look at what he is. Let's see. My loadout ball player. Can I look at his stats without looking at his bonuses? Plus 22, plus 10, plus 6 on those. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my actual control numbers are at. My control's only at 42, it looks like. I don't know if that's with any bonuses, though. I don't think it's with any bonuses there. So I could definitely get my control up on this character, plus 8, which would very help because the biggest trouble that you'll always run into is, of course, the lack of control on this card. See, my velocity and break are at 49 and 50, which are maxed out. But my control is 8 short. So control could still go up, which is something I got to keep training on the card. But that's really how you do it. And that's how you get like a glitchy pitcher cap. That's how I was able to do it and do starter missions just by playing it and using reliever at starter in order, I feel like, effectively get through the program. Now, let me know if you have any questions, but that's my loadout. I think those are the best pitches. Obviously, other pitches that you can use, like I can show you loadout default. Sinker cutter, like if you want to throw like 100, you can replace like the cutter with a fastball, which isn't a terrible idea. Just replace with like a 4-seam fastball is fine. I don't think these 2 things are really... It's too bad running fastballs aren't that good. They haven't been this good in the game in a while. I think slider instead of slurve is totally fine too. I like a little bit more horizontal or more vertical on the slurve than the slider going straight across, because the slider and cutter will have the same straight across movement. So I like a little bit more dip, and then kind of the hump out of the hand. People will know if it's the slurve or the screwball too. Curveball's all right. I'm using the screwball. You can also use the 12-6 curve if you want more vertical break than a screwball. Than a regular curve or knuckle curve. But the screwball's got the most vertical break, even more than 12-6, especially when you're coming sidearm, to my knowledge. But there you go. Splitter if you want. Like all these change-ups, all you're doing is trying to change up the velocity on it. So no matter which one's your favorite, I went with Vulcan because, you know, I want to live long and prosper and stuff like that. You cannot use a knuckleball online at all, so don't even try it. But there you go. There's all your opportunities for your pitches. And that's my kind of cap setup. And yeah, he's the best right-handed reliever in the game, and he'll be the best right-handed reliever till endgame. And I don't think Cap should be in this game, right? Like, you'll probably get more mileage out of a fielder and hitting Cap. Like a catcher Cap is probably going to do you a lot more, like, you know, benefit. But this one is so degenerative. People, if they could send me messages, would probably send me a lot of hate messages. But it's okay. I'm trying to turn one person at a time, one day at a time. Every time that I use Gutfoxx, I'm like, that person now probably doesn't want Caps Online. So I'm trying to get them in my own personal way out of here. So we're bringing this toxicity as much as possible to this game. All right. And that's it for the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. If this helped you, let me know. If you got any questions, like I said, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.